Sharvari ma'am, we should start. We are already having 53 members
Yes,
now.
Fatima teacher, can we begin?
Yes.
Hush! Hush! Those of you who have already logged in from yesterday's session, remember getting set for the meeting? The lighting that you see, the face has to be clear, and the lights have to be from, if you have a window in the room, it's a great idea. Try and sit next to it and check whether your face is coming fully clear. There should be no shadow on your face, and a top light is a bad idea, because what happens is a top light casts shadows on your face, and you tend to come across completely dark, as in the parent can't see you clearly. So ideally, there should be a light in front of you and on three sides, or on three sides. Natural light is a great idea, but it does not work all the time. So you will need to kind of figure it out. We have a couple of days before the big day. So just try and figure it out as to which is the best place in your home to settle down. And then if you're happy with the light and everything, just mark that place and be there. Don't try any other places in your house. So that way you're assured that you're completely visible to the child. Also, if you notice, yesterday I was wearing a lighter colored kurta. Today it's a dark one. I think this gives me better definition than yesterday. So try and go for darker shades. And yeah, it works. Or else your dupattas are there. Make sure that the dupatta is on one shoulder properly kept there, because it should not come in the way of your teaching, since you're going to be restricted to your chair most of the time. Little nuggets that I am also gathering from online surfing that is happening all the time, attending webinars, and looking at the speaker as to how they have positioned themselves, what is their body language. So that's a big insight. Since none of us have been trained for this, we have to learn on the job. Can we begin, Fatima teacher? Because otherwise we will spill over.
Sharvari ma'am, we can start. We can start. We have 54 members now. We can start.
I can't hear you.
Sharvari ma'am, we can start.
I can't hear anybody, in fact. I can see
Sharvari ma'am, can you hear me?
Hush!
Ma'am, can you hear me?
I can't hear anybody.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Oh. Yes. Yes. As Fatima said, can you say
Hello, Sarvari ma'am, you can hear?
yes, now I can. Okay. Day 2. Good morning, everyone, all teachers. This is an image that quite a few of us still relate to. I know I relate to this. It's not as years go by and experience builds up, it's not because of nervousness, but it's more because of excitement. And you have so much to do, so much to say, and you're just wondering how you'll manage everything. So this is absolutely natural. I loved this image and I thought I must share this with all of you. So let's begin today. Can I have the next slide, please? Yes. Um, I am so happy that so many of you have shared your agendas with me. And I'm, like I mentioned before, I am emailing to each one of you personally with suggestions and comments on your agenda. I have just jotted down a couple of points for everyone so that all of us are benefiting from this exercise. One thing for sure is that whenever each one of us writes down something, we are kind of confirming what we are thinking, and the minute we write down something, we look at it again. So we are doubly sure that whatever we will be saying, we have it written down. So writing down your pointers, your agenda is a great idea because it gives you the confidence that you have everything on a paper, that you will not miss out on anything. Those of us who attended yesterday's session on PowerPoints, Ashwini teacher really showed us how to make notes while on your presentation, so that you are not missing out on any points. So that is also a great idea. But penning down things simply, keeping it next to you, like how I have this on this paper, it's right next to me, so I can look at it and talk to you about whatever I wish to give you as my feedback. So the first thing is the introduction. Um, we can be a little more, what can I say? We can use more options other than I am. Remember that I am is very important. I, Sharvari Parasnis, am the class teacher sounds like I'm taking an oath, or like we do it on our sports day. Well, that is not the intention at all. You have to introduce yourself. So I am so and so. It can be, this is Sharvari Parasnis, and I am going to be your class teacher for the year 2020-21. And remember to add that you are happy to be. It's a pleasure. It's going to be a pleasure interacting with your children. And I'm so looking forward to being with them every day. And I'm going to be missing being with them in the class, hugging them, and looking forward to all of that. But as of now, we have to make do with virtual learning. And this is equally exciting for me as well as for the children. So this is very important, that your excitement and your willingness to take this on very positively and not as a stopgap arrangement. So that is how you have to come across. So great beginning, teachers, but yes, we can add a little more to that bit. Some of you have definitely added your qualifications and what about your background, which is a great idea. Keep it to the minimum, and just enough to assure the parent that you are qualified to be there. What I think none of you have mentioned is that you have gone through a training. Now that is very critical, because parents know that this is new. Parents may be wondering whether you're also fiddling around with your computer or your whatever tool you're using, whether it's your tab or your phone, and whether you know what you're doing with the screen. Have you changed your lesson plans? Is your approach to teaching going to be different, or are you just going to cut away all the activities and just be there and make it a flat classroom? So I would love it if you all add to it that for the past 1 month, we have been undergoing training in using Microsoft Teams, and in using all the features of Microsoft Teams to ensure that virtual learning is also interesting and interactive. So that will give the parent a lot of confidence, as in the interaction is not solely dependent on the parent and what he or she does with the child according to your instructions. So that would be a lovely point to add to your welcome note. The welcome note. Now, many of you have suggested activities that the parent and the child would be doing together on that day. Now, I personally feel this requires a little bit of clarity on your part, as in, how are you going to see what activity has been done? Are you going to be having the webcams on? Are the parents going to demonstrate and do it right then? If they're doing it right then, are you going to be giving a feedback there? Because what happens, teachers, is that when we are in front of each other, we are sharing the enjoyment, sharing the excitement of the activity. Virtually, that may not be possible that day. So do give it a thought and see if you still want the parents to do it. Because how do you know that every parent in your class is doing it at that point in time? And if not, then you will lose precious 5 minutes to get them back on. So do give it a thought and see how you can streamline that bit or get in something as an option. Yes. Now, so what does one do now if we cannot do that activity? Yes, you could have props. By props, I mean a vase, a flower vase, a pen stand. You could have your name on a placard. You know, the ones that we make with chart paper, with your name printed out and sitting there right behind, right below your frame, in your in the frame that you're in, at the bottom of the frame. Some of you have mentioned you will have your class written there. You will have it at the back. Great ideas. Please just check them before you before that morning and see that they are visible. So what remains with us to make it a welcoming environment? It is only your voice, your eyes, your language, the words that you use, the tone of your voice, the body language, you know, sitting like this, I welcome you all, tells the parent that, you know, you're just watching and wondering, you know, how things are going to pan out. But if you're like this, right there, looking at the camera and having a smile that reaches your eyes, that will be a great welcome note. Sharing information was the next point. Most of you have done the sharing bit very well. The tone of the sharing has to be a more together tone, as in instructions going, please do this, please do this. Rather, don't do this, don't do this. Remember, it is all about positive language, positive instructions. So all of us know how the brain works. The minute you say don't, whatever follows is what you remember. That is why when we tell our children, don't touch it, the first thing they do is to go touch it, because the brain does not recognize negative feedback. So remember to make it all positive. Remember to make it sound like, let's do this together. And this is, if not if, when we follow this, I will be doing this on my side as a teacher, and I would request parents to do this at home so that our child benefits and we have a smooth virtual lesson. Yeah, so that would be a great thing. So that should be the tone. The next thing is, try and sequence your instructions according to your timeline. What is happening? Suppose now we are having this meeting on the 30th. So school reopens on the 8th. So between the 1st and the 8th, do you want your parents to do things at home? Do you want your parents to prepare the room, prepare the place, set up the place where the child will be taking lessons? What is it that you want them to do? So address that first. Then begin from your lessons. Have you shared the timeline with the parents? Right? So once you go step by step, just visualize everything and try and sequence it. Now, the instructions that we are giving our parents, that should be between the 1st and 8th. It should go to them once more as an email or as a message, and so that they have it with them when they are getting into the classroom with their child. So sequencing is very important in your instructions. Communication guidelines, like I said, should go between the 1st and the 8th again. Sorry. Suggestions and tips is what we should mention when we talk about what we want parents to do. Nobody likes a don't message. Neither would you, nor would the parent, nor would the child today. So do's and don'ts are now done with. And all the don'ts have to be converted into a positive statement. So ensure that all the statements are positive, but very, very firm. Do not leave an option with the parent. None of your statements should be such that the parent has an option of whether I should be moving behind the child, whether the child has to be in that place, whether the child has to wear uniform. It's okay. No, it has to be very, very clear, very precise, but positive. Yeah, closure. Now, closure is something that a mere thank you today is not enough. So when you close the meeting, you have to add some sentences, some statements that tell the parent that you're eager to begin the session and that you're looking forward to it and excited about getting in the classroom. A little teaser about how the first week is going to be is also a good idea. You know that there's going to be a story, there's going to be a song, there's going to be for the older children a video that is going to be very exciting, something that you're going to be doing that you've never done before, to build the excitement and get that tempo with us as well as the parents. So great idea about sharing, and I loved all your agendas. 99% everybody is on track, and I am sending you emails with a few suggestions to improve it further. Yes, thank you. Now let's go on to the next slide. Let's begin. Okay. Yesterday I mentioned a hook activity. Now, do you see this hook? Now, this hook is something that we are going to use with the parents. Now, obviously not this one. It's going to be a verbal hook. Now, why do we need it? We need it so that the parents and us are on the same side along with the child. Today, you have a screen that is between you and the parent. Now, we need to ensure that both sides of the screen have the same enthusiasm and the same motivation. See, the thing is that the parent already has a relationship with the child, right? So they are not going to build a new relationship with the child. So the onus on this parent-teacher interaction is definitely on us. It is our responsibility to ensure that we begin this relationship on the right note. And therefore, these hook activities, I have a couple right now, and I would like you to use these because parents love talking about their children. Now, how does, see, if we were in a classroom, we would have given colorful chits to the parents and told them write down 2 things and make it creative and all of that. Today, that may not be possible. So I would recommend that we use our WhatsApp for that day and ensure that the parent sends you a WhatsApp right away as you're talking to them. So you can begin this hook activity after your welcome and say that, okay, parents, I'm so happy to see all of you here, and I'm going to really enjoy working with your children, and we are going to have lots of fun. But I want to know them a little better. And who better than you to tell me what every child, every little bundle of joy that's coming into my classroom is all about. So I want you to take 2 minutes and type out 3 things that you want me to know about your child. I just want top 3 things. And then the parent types it out as a WhatsApp message and sends it to you there and then. Now what happens? Yes, please.
Sharvari ma'am, where do they send the messages? They cannot post on the WhatsApp. On the WhatsApp group, they cannot post.
No, no, no. It has to be. That's why, ma'am, what I was wanting to know is that just for that 1 hour, can we have something that they can send us back to? Because
that
what
if
is happening?
something,
Anji,
yes. We have to create that then, because otherwise
yes,
they cannot post. Yes.
yes, because it is, if it is your personal WhatsApp, I do not know whether we are sharing personal WhatsApp numbers with the parents. Are we?
No,
No,
we are
ma'am, we
not.
are not.
No, ma'am.
We
We
will
are,
be using the
So that is
Microsoft
out of the
platform,
question.
which is
Yes,
we will
yes.
be using the Microsoft platform for everything.
Okay. So I have, see, right now, then we have to instruct the parent. Now, before you begin this activity, then I would recommend that you familiarize the parent with the chat box, and ask them to open it on their phones and type out 3 top things that they want you to know about their child. It is
that could,
very important. Yes, ma'am?
yes, that could be possible.
Yeah, on the chat. So everyone just types out 3 things and sends it. So you have it with you. Now, this will achieve 2, 3 things. One, the parent opens up, and 2, you have something with you that tells you about the children that you know nothing of. So you begin with some kind of a data. From the feedback that the parents give you, you will know what is it that they think their child is like. So you will get standard, stock answers like my child is loving, my child is friendly, my child is this, my child is that. Okay, fair enough. But it's a beginning, right? So this is one activity that will get the parent on your side. The second thing, on similarly, once they do this, you have to ask them to what they think their behavioral and academic goals are. Now, I understand that if you use this terminology, maybe the parent will not, will get a little taken aback as to now what is behavioral goal and what is my academic goal. Should the academic goal be the teacher's job and all of that? But you could simplify this further as to what do you expect your child to learn? Use the word learn. That works with all parents. Secondly, what is it like? Would you want, maybe you could give behavioral options to the parent, like would you want your child to be friendly, to achieve sharing, to achieve become more become a good listener? Let's work on this. Let me also work on this. And if we can have like a Google link form that we send out to the parent, and the parent clicks on it and submits it to us, maybe that would also work. What I want you to do is to definitely talk about these 2 things. These are what will get the parent to your side. All right. These are just 2 examples. I'm sure all of you will come up with your own hook activity, which will work. I am always available if you want to discuss this further, like the agenda. Maybe if you have anything to share with me, you could always email me again and we can discuss this further. So this is what I meant by a hook activity. Now, if you have noticed, this is not a game. This is not a game that you play with the parents. This is serious business, and therefore it should remain like this. The parents have to understand that their child is very important to you. And each child in the class is important, and you want to know them better because you do not have the advantage that the parents have. They know their child. You are going to know them, right? So this is your book activity. Yes, could I have the next slide, please? Right. Now you're welcome. You're set for the meeting. You have sent your invites. The parents are in front of you on your screen, and everything is set, and we begin our meeting. The welcome note is done. The communication channels have been spoken about, have been discussed, and all of that. And now we begin our meeting. Yes. Could I have the first one, please? Is it going to be tough to do this? Relax and smile? Maybe, but it's necessary. So relax and smile. Trust me, if you have your agenda in place, it's very easy to do this. Relax and smile right through into the camera. Yeah. Next one, please. It's on the click.
Shall we have just a second? Just a second.
Yes. You see that cup of coffee, cup of tea? Maybe you would want your parents also to sit with one. Would you want that? So that you can sit with your cup of tea? Just ensure that you're on the same page though. You can't be sitting with a cup of tea and the parent is looking at it. So that doesn't work. So whatever it is, it has to be both ways. I would actually not recommend this, because in class then what would happen is the child would be looking at you and listening to you, and the mother or the father might be sitting with his cup of tea, and then that may not work. So yeah, it's better to be without any tea or anything. Yes, next one, open with a positive statement. Now, can I have someone respond to this? Any teacher? Okay. Can someone quickly respond, because I'm unable to, since I have the chat box open.
Okay.
Someone from SGA?
Natasha teacher?
Yes.
Or
Hi, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, I think a good positive statement is, wow, it's such a beautiful day, and I'm sure by the 8th of June, it might start to get cloudy, or we could have a few showers, hopefully. So, we can talk about the weather as a positive statement as well. Or you can always say that, today I woke up with a song in my head. Or do you know of any good song that you have heard yesterday that you would like to share with me? Something like that.
Okay. Great idea. But are we going to give this option to all parents?
No, not all of them. Maybe we could have a few other options, like there's a good movie I watched. Or can you share a good movie that you watched during the holidays, or a good board game activity that you enjoyed playing with your child during the holidays? So something like that. So it could vary with the parents.
All right. Now, thank you, Natasha teacher. See, what happens is, could I have someone else? Then we will discuss. Aarti Kulkarni from SSWS. Can you please get into the discussion? Aarti Kulkarni? Or who else wants to join? Renu Sharma, I can see your mic is open, Renu. Renu teacher, can you please?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Can you suggest a positive statement?
Like according to me, if I would say welcome, so I can tell like this, like it's a very good day because your children are joining a school the first day. Even we are so much excited that our school is also like um, what we say, our school also started with the new session with new kids, so we are also excited and you're also excited, so it's really a very exciting day. So let's begin the day, something like that. Like that, ma'am. I'm not sure about it, you just tell it me.
Okay, thank you, Renu. See, teachers, this is what is, it's very nice that we've already got this point. When we say open with a positive statement, ha, usme kya hai? No big deal. But do you realize all the humming and the hawing that happens? And we try to make a statement into, we say open with a positive statement. Now, neither of them have given a statement. They have given me 4-5 sentences. Now, that is not a statement. That is something that conveys to me as a parent that you're nervous, you are someone who doesn't really come across as prepared. Remember, they're meeting you probably for the first time, so you are coming across as someone who's not prepared. You're talking about weather that is sunny and hot outside. You're presuming it's going to rain. Maybe it will rain. If it doesn't, what? So these are conversations. These are not statements. So open with one positive statement. And what has come across just now is that all of us jolly well think about it and write it down. Because at that point in time, maybe you're going to forget it. Suppose there is a connectivity issue. Suppose there is, like it happened today for some time. I'm not audible to the parents. I'm not visible to the parent. Some parent is having issues with their connections. Now, how do I talk to them about the weather? This meeting has already begun with a little issues, right? So talking about the weather, talking about your excitement is something that may not come at that point in time, and you are likely to miss out on this very important part of your meeting. So remember to jot down a positive statement. All right, do this. Take it from me, it's going to work for you. Just like your agenda, this will definitely work for you. A positive statement. Think about it. Now you have the chance to think about it. Come up with a really good, precise, clear, and happy statement. Look online, get the best, and do it. Right? Next one, follow the agenda, but leave time for discussions. What happens is the agenda is your guideline. Now, when we make timetables, we all follow timetables, right? And it does help you go through the day having achieved all that you wished for. Similarly, the agenda. The agenda is there, but sometimes you do get into a discussion and parents are sharing and you just feel they're just warming up to me and this is the point that they're sharing. Maybe I should take those extra 5 minutes, even though if I have kept only 10 minutes, maybe I should do that extra 5 minutes. Do that. Give time for discussion because it is very difficult to have a two-way discussion online with the screen. Trust me, I am really not comfortable with watching just your names on my screen. It's not as much fun as seeing you in person. So therefore, if somebody is sharing, just listen in, but remember to be in control so that 3-4 people are not talking at the same time. Leave time for discussion. Yeah. Next point, please. Listen to the parent. Now, this is going to be even tougher online, because when we are listening to a group of 15, 20 adults, though we are listening to one person, we know exactly what everyone else is doing. So, you know, the first parent who logs in and who opens the mic and is talking to you is setting a role model for the rest of your class. So if you are, if you achieve that first interaction successfully, all parents will then want to open their mics and talk to you voluntarily. Ensure that you, if you find any parent who's just not responding or just not being a part of the conversation, ensure that you get them to talk. You have to listen to the parents. Listening skills, very important. Now, how do you know how does the parent know that you have heard him or her or them? How do you tell the parent that you've heard? One important thing, you know, as a teacher, always sit with a writing tool in your hand and say, yes, sir, I'm listening to you. I have made a note of what you're listening, of what you're sharing with me, and I will get back to you. That gives the parent the clue that yes, whatever he or she has shared with you has been heard, right? So sit with a pen or yeah, a pen, and you know, even though the parent may not see you writing, your angle on the screen, the minute I'm looking this way and doing this, the parent knows I am jotting down, and the parent feels satisfied that yes, whatever I've said, the teacher has made a note of it. And please do make a note of it. You might find it very simple and easy to remember at that point in time, but trust me, when you sit down to make a report of this meeting, you will require those points that you've jotted down, right? Share ideas that support learning. The parent is actually clueless as to what am I supposed to do? What happens is, if the parent has no idea what he or she is supposed to do, what do you think the parent is going to do? The parent is just going to look at you, and you will have no control over that. So the parent is just going to look at you. Then after she has finished looking at you, your background will be scrutinized. Then the way you speak will be scrutinized 100%. How you say, what are the words that you commonly use. And you know what? As you go online, you yourself will realize what are the words that you keep repeating. What is your favorite word? What is your favorite statement? Sorry. How often do you use and without reason? And this, and that, and that. So all this is going to happen. So it's best to ensure that the parent knows what they're supposed to be doing. Otherwise, all these, they are definitely going to be scrutinized, but they will be doing that with a lot more time. If you do not want the parent to be there all through, how do you handle this? You want the parent to be around, but you don't want the parent sitting next to the child and looking at you. Because what you're going to be doing, the story that you're going to be sharing, the poem that you're going to be reciting is all for the child. For an adult, I mean, do we talk like this with adults when we meet adults? We don't, isn't it? So the parent is going to fall off their chair, frankly, when they see you in action. So please be prepared for that, right? Because this is not how adults converse. But we need to do that for our children, especially teachers handling preschool. This is going to be something I have faced it myself. Recently, I was I was recording a story for one of my friends, and I was being recorded by my son, and it was so tough because he was laughing through and through. He'd never seen me emote that way. He'd never seen me speak like that. So he was just falling off his chair. But that is how it's going to be. So a little bit of humor, a little bit of being prepared and taking these things lightly is what's going to see us through these times. So share ideas that support learning. Now, if you're doing a phonics class, you're teaching the phonological awareness. We begin with that, right? So we have stories for every pronunciation, every vowel. We have vowel stories, isn't it? So when you're telling those stories, give a quick instruction to the parent. Tell the parent not to go to the content of the story, but go to the action. When I'm saying, why am I doing this? Now, a child doesn't need to be told that this is because this is an action that is done when somebody doesn't hear. Nobody does this anymore, isn't it? Nobody does this. So for the parent, you may give a quick instruction. If the parent is sitting along with the child and you can see the parent, that this is what I want you to do. Mrs. So-and-so, I hope you're watching. This is what I want you to do when you take up Summer's phonics at home, phonological awareness, whatever exercise. Please observe my actions. So the minute you say, please observe my actions, they're not going to be ridiculed anymore because the parent knows that every action has a purpose. So automatically, the way the parent views you is not something that is hilarious or a comic act. It is something that has meaning. So I feel this is something that will work for us in online sessions. Similarly for primary school, similarly for special education, though parent is very, very willing and very much involved right from day one. So they are your partners in true sense. With normal children and their parents, yes, parents feel sometimes that, oh, this is what the teacher does. I mean, really, this is their reaction initially. And it is absolutely genuine because adults do not converse like this. So the minute you tell the parent that there is a reason why you're doing your voice modulation like this, why does a child enjoy so much of voice modulation? So a quick 2-minute instruction to the parent that dear parents, this is what, or dear parents, this is what is going to happen in this lesson. My voice modulation is very critical to this, and please pay attention to the voice modulation and try and follow it when you take up this activity. Right? So this will give you the required support from the parent. Make an action plan together. We have to have them. Anyways, parent-child, a parent-teacher partnership is so that learning happens together. Right now, what is happening is that whatever the time the child was with you exclusively, that time is also lost. So more need for you to have an action plan with the parent, right? So another suggestion, another tip would be that once you finish your teaching with the child, ask the parent to please give you 2 minutes more and say that, parents, this is what has happened today. I hope you observed what was happening, and this is what the plan is for the next 2 days, and share that action plan. Now, remember, all of our lesson plans have been modified for online work, isn't it? So this is a modification from the parent's point of view. So remember, the parent has to respect each and every gesture that you do. That respect will come only with knowledge, only with information that every gesture, when you do this is not for the parent. It's for that 3-year-old who is responding to that. So once the parent knows that, he or she will not judge you for your childlike and supposedly infantile behavior, right? Follow-up schedule. Now, I asked you to submit agendas. Now, imagine what it would feel like if I said, "Oh, great, yeah, I mean, thank you very much," and I do nothing about it. What would be your reaction? What a waste of time. I mean, if she didn't want to do anything about it, why did she ask us to submit it? I mean, we have enough work to do otherwise. This is something we take time out, and there is no response. I mean, she did say she'll get back to me. It's been 2 days, 3 days. I mean, when? I would be much faster. Google is there. I can Google things. Next time, I'm not going to ask her. This is the reaction. Remember, Google is much faster than us. And there is nothing that is not there on Google that even we go to Google, right? To get our information, to get ideas. So will the parent. Remember, the parent is now going to be more charged because the control is now split. We have to realize that. And to keep it in our favor as teachers, we need to do this. Yeah. Next slide, please. All right. Now, Fatima teacher, don't show any questions, right? I'm going to, again, can I have everybody please on the screen? I'm going to, can we have the first question? Now, these are the kind of questions that parents will ask you. Now, let's get set for these questions. Who would like to answer this, please? Quickly, can we have a quick interaction? Just switch on your mic and go for it. Who wants to come in first? I can see some mics opening. No? Do we not know the answer to this question? Yes, Natasha. Natasha, my teacher. Yes, your mic, please. You've not unmuted your mic. Natasha, teacher? Yes.
Taking a yes, ma'am. Okay, you want me to answer?
Yes, I'm a parent. I'm asking. What is my child
What is
expected
my-
to learn this year, ma'am? Okay, your video, can you switch off your video so you're more audible? The bandwidth issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sharing my video. All right.
Yes.
Hi, ma'am. Yes. For this year, we will ensure that your child learns. We have a structured curriculum that we are going to be following for this standard. So we will. I'm not very good at this.
No, I'm glad you realized this today, because you have time to get ready. This is a question that is going to come your way, 100%. Any other teacher who would like to take this up, please? I would request you all to participate because this is your time and it will really help you later on the day.
Sharvari ma'am, I would. Okay.
Yes,
Good afternoon, ma'am.
good afternoon.
Akanksha this side, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I would like to answer this question. I'll say, hello, sir, or ma'am. I know this year is gonna be very different for all of us, and I expect uh, mm, your child to learn how to face challenges, how to make adverse situations into your favor, and how to make path among, like, if you want to learn, you if you like how to make ways for yourself, whatever you want to do, how to make the things done um, among all the challenging situations. So this year you are not coming to the school, like not now, but yeah, we will bring school to your home. So how to learn in this new scenario, in the new classroom, that your child will learn this year.
All right. Thank you, Akanksha ma'am, for volunteering. Yes.
Okay, Sharvari ma'am, I would like to speak.
Yes, please. Yes, Marita ma'am.
Marita.
I can recognize your
Yeah,
voice.
good afternoon. So I would like to answer this question, and definitely I would like to tell the parents that yes, learning will happen, and learning will happen in school and at home. It is going to be a 50-50%, and we will have a structured curriculum and a syllabus which we will be, teaching the students. But this year, we will be also focusing more on life skills, like skill-based learning. Okay, so along with the content, along with the scholastic subjects, along with English, math, science, and languages, we will also be focusing on self-driven learning.
Perfect. So, thank you so much, Marita ma'am.
Yes.
See, teachers, 3-4 things. What is my child expected to learn this year? What was the key words in Marita ma'am's answer? Life skills, self-driven, and curriculum will be followed. What parents all are worried about is my child's studies going to be affected? Now that is something you need to put to rest right in the beginning, that the curriculum will be followed, right? So what is my child expected to learn this year? Remember, teachers, online, since the parent can't really see you, you have to be precise and to the point. Okay, you could give 3 words. What is my child expected to learn this year? We are introducing life skills with a great focus. We are introducing the curriculum, as always, will be followed. You have been shared. The curriculum has been shared with you. And this. Now, these are the things. So please remember to be precise. And we're so used to conversing that we are not really used to answering questions. So now this is something we will get used to. Now, again, my suggestion would be, please make a note of these catchphrases. Yeah, at that point in time, maybe it's likely that you'll forget them. So these are very, very important terms today to get the parent realize that you are prepared for the year to come, right? Next question. Next question. Okay, who's opening up? Okay, I'm going to ask Manisha ma'am. Manisha Nagar ma'am, can you please unmute your mic?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
Manisha ma'am, I wanted to ask you, yes, last year my child was in grade 2 and sorry,
Yes,
because of
yeah, yeah. Wait.
yes, because of this situation, now how are you going to correct his papers? How are his exams going to be? Will they also be online? Will I have to look after his exams? I'm so confused, Manisha ma'am. How is my child going to be evaluated?
Ma'am, as our parents are already aware, we are giving project to them. So then
No, ma'am.
regarding this, yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
just answer my questions. Don't tell me the background. It's like a role
Okay,
play.
okay,
I've answered
okay.
this question, you answer. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. There I want to say, your child will be evaluated on the basis of continuous observation will be done by class teacher as well as by the subject teachers.
Okay.
Whether the child
Thank
is
you.
able to cope up, yes, ma'am. Whether the child
Thank
is able to cope up with the teaching is done by the teachers, he is learning properly, he is attending properly, he is concentrating properly. This all will be the point I have to explain to the parents.
Okay. Great. Yes, I'm looking for someone from SGA. Somebody from SGA, please? Preschool? SGA preschool? Can we have someone?
Excuse me, Sharvari ma'am, this is Rashmi here.
Yes, Rashmi.
Yeah, can we
Rashmi.
ask some teachers from EIC team from
Yes, yes,
SGA to answer? Yeah.
absolutely.
So, Aline teacher, Priya teacher, Ria teacher, can anyone take up an answer, please? Priya teacher?
Yes, yes, ma'am. What is the question?
The question is, ma'am, my son is in your class and I'm really worried because this is all this online virtual learning. Learning is fine, but how is he going to be evaluated, ma'am? How are you going to assess him? Exams? What is going to happen?
So yes, ma'am, the evaluation will happen through a lot of assignments through Google Forms, which will be sending out to you. Automatically, y'all will fill up your assignment, send it back to us. We will see it, evaluate it, and then we will give you all the scores as and when the time comes. Like example, if we have a small report day or something like that, that time we will tell you the marks and everything. So y'all don't have to worry about that. It will not be very tough and all your answers and all, I hope we have answered.
Yes. Thank you, Clyde, sir. That was really a relief.
Yeah.
So
To
Yeah,
add
everybody,
Sharvari
on to
madam.
this,
Sharvari
yes,
madam,
to
I
add on
want to add. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, carry on. Rashmi madam, you carry on.
no, continue, teachers continue.
I want to say, ma'am, here I will clear to the parents, more importance will be given to formative assessment rather than summative assessment.
perfect. Great. So, see, why I'm bringing up these questions is that you all start thinking about your answers because these are not answers that you can think on the spur of the moment. So, you need to be prepared. Yes, can I have the next one? Okay, now who wants to take this up? I don't see any SGA teachers. I see,
Can I talk, Sharvari ma'am?
yes, Fatima teacher, yes, of course.
Okay, so for as our kids will be very small, so I would just answer the parent that our kids won't need a test as a test. Basically, we will be evaluating them through the activities they perform, through the games and how they are participating. That's what my answer would be to them. They won't be having any personalized test or to be given. So they won't be having any markings on them. So that's just an evaluation we'll be doing throughout the year.
Okay. Now, Fatima teacher, then, which means it's not really important for my child to
It
be
is
there.
important.
Why should I
It
keep
is
my child
very
busy?
it is important because we will be evaluating the growth of the child throughout the year, how the child has progressed, what he is progressed in, what he is very good at. So all little points will be taken care of through the evaluation.
Okay. So now, may I suggest a couple of terms to all the teachers who are in preschool? Because tests and evaluations, all these, all the senior teachers have loads of jargon to throw at the formative assessment and all of that. So now what do we do? I'm a true blue preschool person. So don't we evaluate? So what preschool teachers need to be very clear if some parent asks this question is that we are going to evaluate your child on social skills, motor skills. Yeah, use these technical terms: social skills, motor skills. Now social skills, the parent will say, where social skills? We are in the age of social distancing, right? But then through these times, what we need to keep uh, developing our skills, so that when we do come out and out of this lockdown, the child is ready with his social skills. So through stories, through the child's responses, through the language, speak about language development, speak about the skills that you're developing, speak about numerological awareness. Talk about these things, because the parent is anyway seeing you play. So if the parent is not aware that play is child's work and play is the way the child learns, the parent is going to say कि अरे ये तो मजे ही चल रहे हैं class में. So it's very critical that if a parent is, do not undermine your evaluation. We are evaluating children, but our parameters of evaluation are different because they have to be age appropriate. Very simple. At 3 years, the child is expected to do all of this, and we will be evaluating the child on all his developments, right? And we will be marking his milestones. These are the words that preschool teachers need to use: the milestones, the language development, the vocabulary building. These are some things that parents, it is very reassuring for a parent to hear, oh, my child's vocabulary is going to be built. He or she may not understand language development, but vocabulary building, everybody understands. So now we are
Ma'am,
going to be, yes,
Ma'am Jigisha here. There is just one point that I thought that I could add.
yes, ma'am.
Uh, so most of the parents, so I have had a few friends who have very small kids, and they've been wondering that, they could just make this kid sit in front of YouTube instead of, joining preschool. Uh,
Absolutely.
which is where this question comes into place, which is why I thought that this is very relevant time to speak about it. I
Yes,
feel that the difference between us and YouTube is that we are there to evaluate your kid and respond in accordance to what we evaluate and what we observe, which is very important because we respond. A YouTube is just going on, but our role here is to actually receive what the kid is doing, how the kid is performing, and if any kid needs any special attention, we inform this to the parent, and we try to support them however and whenever needed. So I guess that is where evaluation as preschool teachers also come
yes.
for us.
Perfect. Virtual hug to you, Jigisha teacher, for raising this point.
Thank you so
Complete.
much.
Yes. Absolutely, teachers, preschool teachers, please do not undermine your evaluations. We are extremely critical in the child's life. And our evaluations set the tone for the child's future academic progress, right? So next question, please, Fatima teacher. Okay, who wants to take this up? Manasi teacher, can I have you? Manasi teacher from SGA, please. I hope that is the Manasi that is there on the screen.
Yes.
Is Manasi teacher there? Tasneem teacher, Tasneem Kapasi. Yeah, do we have Manasi?
No, ma'am. Her name is not showing in the team.
Okay, all right. Then could I have Tasneem, please? Tasneem Kapasi. Can you unmute?
Could Vinamrata teacher please answer this question?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Vinamrata
Yeah.
teacher, my
Thank
child,
you.
I'm really confused with this online situation. How will my child participate? My child is going to miss the class discussions and the activities. Suppose I'm not able to provide all the material, ma'am. How do I do this?
So, ma'am, we will be telling parents that we will be organizing different debates, discussions, and activities time to time, and we will be informing you prior. So that he is able to prepare himself for those discussions and activities. And the kids who are shy, for example, who is the kids who are not able to speak in front of the teachers or in front of their friends, then we are there to help them to participate in those discussions. We will provide them keywords where they can elaborate those keywords and they can also participate in those discussions.
Okay, so which means, Vinamrata ma'am, you're going to be telling me beforehand what is going to happen in class. And I have to be prepared with certain items that are required, that will be required in that class. How will I know this? Will I get an email?
Yeah, ma'am. For those different type, the discussions will be academic as well as non-academic. So we will be telling you, we will be sending you information 1 week prior, so that you are able to arrange those things. For example, if in non-academic discussions we are doing some show and tell competition or show and tell activity, then you can arrange that object, and you can prepare your child to speak 2, 3, or 5 sentences on that object, and he can practice those things at home, and he can come up with so many ideas while discussing it with his friends during online sessions.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm really excited now.
Thank you,
Teachers,
ma'am.
did you? Yeah, thank you so much. Teachers, did you benefit from this session? How will my child participate? Because this is a question that every parent has today. So remember 2, 3 things. The parent needs to be informed well in advance about what activity, if you need the parent's cooperation in that activity, the parent needs to be informed well in time. Yeah, and they need to be assured that participation and discussion, though not as exciting as actual, will be there, will be a part of your class. It's not going to be a flat class. Yes, next question, please.
Already, ma'am, to this, can I add some points?
Yes, please.
This is Riya here. This is Riya here to the previous one discussed in class. So we can also maybe mention that how in Teams, we have a lot of new additional tools which are there that makes the sessions kind of fun. We have those online surveys that can randomly happen to constantly check if the child is understanding. We have the chat box feature. Even though the
Yes.
younger kids or our special kids might not be able to use that, we still have that. We can give our praises, our stickers, our everything. We have the option of raising our hands. We also have the option of interactive whiteboard where you can just invite the child on the whiteboard, and while you are doing the activity, the child can simultaneously do it along with you. So these
Yes.
are a few features of the app I thought that we could mention, so that the parents also, maybe not directly in the first meeting to the parents, but once we start showing them the app, it can be informed then as well.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Ria teacher. The
Ma'am.
only issue here is our teachers have to be super confident of using each and every one of those apps. They are really exciting, especially for me. I just loved the Praise app in Teams, and it is so exciting to it's just at a click of a button, and you can do so much for this child, right? So we are having mock sessions, right, with teachers, Ria ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So teachers, if you're confident, please do mention the Teams app, and I think you should anyways mention the Teams app for class discussions.
There's
Right.
just one thing I wanted to ask,
Yes.
that if a parent is not able to, accommodate or prepare those materials which are needed for some activities which are going to happen. So can
Mhm.
we actually tell this to parents that, you can, on these provided timings, you can talk to us and we can give you some alternatives so that
Absolutely.
we can also include them in the discussion.
Yes. As a teacher, we need to be consciously aware of the times today and ensure that we are not expecting something that the parent will not be able to source. That should be the beginning. That should be the starting point. But if at all some parent does have it, yes, right in the beginning, on your first day, in the instructions that we give to the parents, in the communication to the parents, we have to say that, as I've already mentioned, that you are going to be giving a time slot where the parent can come back to you with their doubts and difficulties. So that will definitely help out. Right. Now, the next question is your child's social skills. How will they develop? Let me answer this. How will my child's social skills develop in this scenario? With the lockdown happening, with my child not being able to communicate with his peers, because that is what school is, isn't it? It gives the child a ready peer group. Now that is completely missing. So yes, my child's social skills will be developing differently. And you, as a parent, you will have to play a double role. This is what we have to tell them, that you are your child's friend and that age, through games, through activities, through video links, through situations where the child should cooperate and participate in discussions. The social skills will have to be developed this way. We cannot give the child the peer group today. So that will be again virtually. If you could arrange for the children in your building to come together virtually on a Zoom platform, or your any other, maybe a WhatsApp video call takes in 8 people. So you really don't need an app. Your WhatsApp is there. 8 children, allow the children some time to talk with their friends. That becomes now very important. So suggest a WhatsApp call, suggest something where they are virtually having this time with their peers. Yes, next one.
Sharvari ma'am, can I add something to this?
Anji.
Rashmi here.
Yes, 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 Rashmi ma'am.
Sharvari ma'am. Sharvari ma'am, Rashmi here. Can I add something to this?
Yes, please. Yes, Rashmi ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes. So that's a very nice idea that children can arrange some games or quiz for their friends. To add on to this, on weekends, if during the week there was a birthday uh, or an anniversary of a family member or of their grandparents, so we can just give ideas to the children that, okay, children, apart from having general knowledge quiz or games, they can arrange small virtual parties for their grandparents or for their family members, and a short celebration which they can arrange and they take an initiative. So in short,
Yes.
we are bringing and helping them to come up in their social development.
Yes, great. So celebrations today are, they've all gone virtual. All of us have been a part of it. And yes, you do miss the actual one, but yes, virtual celebrations have become equally exciting. So even if there is nothing to celebrate in the week during the weekend, maybe a virtual call, you could connect all his friends on a WhatsApp call and show the child that he can see his friends, talk to his friends, and share her ideas, what you did, what I did. And do remember to tell the parents to remember to take a back seat then. This is the child, and this is the child's time with his or her friends. Let them manage. Be there for sure, but not like during class, that you have to be there and ensure that things are done. This is the child's free time, and let the child go ahead and develop the get into an interaction with his or her friends. Next one, if my child misses my classes, how will I manage them? Now, there is a new factor to this, when a child misses school, the regular school, the child remains absent, isn't it? Now, you could have a situation where the parent says, ma'am, my child has fever, he's sleeping in his room. Can I sit for the class? What do I do as a teacher? Who wants to take this on?
Ma'am, can I say that? May I answer?
Yes, 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 please.
Yeah. I would, if the parent asks that if I can sit, I would just answer them that we are recording the sessions. We have all the classes recorded. So we would mind if the parent sits, because every child is sitting, and we wouldn't want a parent sitting in the middle. As just a suggestion. So we will tell them that we have recorded everything, as well as we are going to send you plans. The plans are going to be already sent a week prior to them for the whole week, coming week. So we will tell them that you can catch up on the recordings and the plans sent to you. But we would mind the parents sitting in the meeting.
Yes, because see, this is a new factor completely. This has never ever happened before, isn't it?
Yes.
No parent comes to school and sits in your class. So the same rules apply. What you have to kind of soften your thing is, no, ma'am, I don't want you in my class. That's not something you can say. So you can say, oh, ma'am, really, I'm really concerned about Samar, and no, absolutely no need. You please look after him and give him a hug from me, or whatever you wish to add, and say, please do take care of it, and we will send you the recording. Right? So you do not want a child's parent to be in your class. Definitely not. Right? So please be very, very firm about this from day one. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is Vinamrata. So,
Vinamrata,
ma'am, in this case, we cannot say directly no to the parent, obviously. So we can say that, okay, ma'am, we are very concerned about the kid, that he is not feeling well right now. Your priority is your kid. Just take care of him. If he is sleeping, then you must be having so many household chores also. So don't worry about the classes. So in this way, we can tell him no indirectly. So you can finish your household chores. In the meantime, he is taking rest. And do not worry about the classes. We will be recording the sessions, and according to your comfort level and convenience, you can listen to those recordings, and you can show those recordings to your kid also whenever he is feeling
But
well.
Vinamrata ma'am, I have finished everything in the morning, and
Okay.
I really have nothing better to do. So
Yeah.
I don't mind sitting in the class. I don't want my child, I want to see how you're going to do it. So I don't mind. I don't have anything else to do.
Ma'am,
Then
Whenever
we
before taking the, hello ma'am, Renu here. Before taking the class, we just take the attendance first, right? So if the
yeah,
child is not available at that time, so again, it's not a question for parents to attend the class because if child is not present, and that presentation, that like attendance, we have to take as a virtual.
yes. Yes, agreed. That is the expected scenario. What we are coming up with is the possible questions. See, a parent is also very, very enthusiastic now. कि मुझे फिर से स्कूल करना है और मुझे तो सब आता है. What we have to do is, Vinamrata ma'am, also, see, do not
yeah.
suggest. My recommendation is, do not suggest that you have other chores. I'm sure you have other things to do. No, this is a school. This is a classroom situation. So all you have to say is, ma'am, Samar is sick, and of course you need to be with him. And please do not worry about this class. I will share my recordings with you, and you're most welcome to exit the class.
Ma'am,
Sure,
Arlene
ma'am.
teacher here.
Yes.
Arlene
Yes,
teacher here.
yes, Arlene.
I don't know, I think it would be a good idea if the school gave this in one of the rules for online sessions, that in case a teacher is absent, the recordings and the things would be forwarded at a later date. I mean, at the end of the day, and you can catch up with the session. So I
Arlene teacher,
feel that it would be.
yeah, no, the thing is, this is a double-edged sword. Now, if I'm going to get recordings, चल रहे आज मेरा मूड नहीं है ठीक करना सब, कहाँ इसको वैसे भी क्या recording मिलने वाला है?
No, but one day or the other, they are all going to know that recordings are going to come.
Yes, but if we forward it as, that's again my take as teachers, I'm sure you have better judgment of the situation, and I guess the management also will take a call on this. But I feel that if that, again, my suggestion is the lesser the options, the easier for you to control online classes. Therefore, today more ever than before, it is very important what you say in class and what you convey. You must say exactly what you wish to convey. Therefore, writing down what you say helps you to ensure that this is exactly what you want to convey. When you write down something, you can see it in front of you and say, okay, do I really want to say this? No, I don't think so. Maybe I should change this. So when you write it down, this gives you the advantage. I feel very clearly in just a couple of, express your concern for the reason the child is not there and say, okay, ma'am, I'm sure you want to be with him. Please feel free to exit my class. And we will get back to you with recordings. That's it. Further conversation, if required, later. But you need to move on with your class. And remember, other mothers are listening in. So you have other chores to do. All these, the conversation should not happen, is what my suggestion is. To be crisp, precise, and in control. Because you need to get on with your class. Right? All right. Next one. Do you think my child will reach her potential? Now, this is such a vague question, but it is the concern of every parent. If you go back to the parent and say, what do you think is your child's potential? Oh, ma'am, that I'm sure she can do so many. So this is such a vague question, but this could be a question thrown to you. हमेशा, if I can switch into Hindi, हमेशा हर parent को लगता है कि मेरा बच्चा अच्छा करेगा ना. So this is more of a question related to reassurance. I do not really feel a parent is expecting a precise answer to this. This is a question that says, yes, ma'am, why not? Let us all try to ensure that your child reaches her potential. So no commitment on either side, but it is something that I wish to hear, because I'm nervous about this online schooling. I'm nervous about my child. I'm nervous about the situation outside my home. So will my child reach the potential? Yes, of course, let's try. We are here to try, and I'm sure this will happen. So this is just a reassuring answer that a parent needs to hear. Right? So please don't get into the nitty-gritties of this, because unless you have documentation, there is no point in getting into the nitty-gritties. Unless you have the scores, unless you have collated it and compared it to the rest of the class, there's no point in going into the details. This is a reassuring answer that the parent wishes to hear. And if the parent does pursue this question, take it one-on-one later. Right? Can we have the next slide? Oh, there's one more. Okay. What can I do at home to support academic progress? How do we tell parents that please don't become their teachers? This is something that even I'm contemplating. And I want you all to contemplate on this. Because as it is, parents are so excited about this educational journey and, my child the best test. So how can I support? We don't, there is a cartoon. Let me see if I can get it. I will share it with all of you. There's this child in the middle with the parent here and with the teacher on one side, and suddenly both morph into teachers, and this kid is really wondering what's going to happen with him and totally worried. So we need to really look at this a little carefully. Each one of us requires to take a deep breath before we jump into answering this question. Yeah. So can we get on to the next slide? Yes. Anita is talking. Yes, Anita ma'am.
I just had a question, Sharri. Ma'am, this is based on a real life query actually, which was shared by some parents in the society. Okay.
Yes.
So they have 4 children. They have 4 children going to City International School in 4 different classes. And they're saying we don't have so many laptops or anything at home. So how do we manage all the slots and how do we do online schooling? So I did not answer that at that point of time. I said probably the schools should, the time slots will have to be scheduled, because even if a mother has 2 kids, she cannot be sitting with the child in the morning and the afternoon, and So what would be a good way to answer this question?
See, this is what the thing is. That's why I said I myself don't know the answer to this. We all have to ponder on this. And I think we need to take it as per our situation in the classroom. Now, those of you who do not have this situation of sharing the laptop or the same time, siblings in the same time lot, these are things that we are all learning and we are all facing this for the first time. We are not an online education sector. So we do not have ready answers. So if a parent does answer, they treat this as a one-on-one situation and try and work out options as a team. This is not something that you as a class teacher will be able to solve, right? Suppose you have a parent who has one child in your class and another child in another teacher's class. So automatically this has to be solved. You have to take your principal in the loop. You have to take your tech team in the loop. You have to take the child's subject teachers, class teachers. At SSWS, Geeta ma'am has to be right there because she's the timetable person. So how does one do this? We will have to do this on the go. These are things that, please remember, this is a question that you need to say, ma'am, let me get back to you. And come offline, come after the class, have set up a, the teams, the meetings, the agendas, the, what do we call that? The manage, what is it, Ria ma'am? That we have these groups that we make on Teams. And you post something that you need help and everybody chips in and comes schedule a meeting, your calendar, all of these apps, teachers, this is what these apps are for. This is why Teams is there. Right, Jaya ma'am?
Yeah, so you can put up the question on your respective teachers group. Like I'm an SISS teacher, so I would put it up on SISS teachers because this is a query that everyone would have. Similarly, if you're in the EIC center, you can put all the teachers have their individual groups. So maybe you can put it up there.
Correct. So basically, this is a team answer. Please do not answer this question on your own. I would recommend, I will get back to you, ma'am. Let me talk, let me get back to the concerned people and I will have an answer for you in a couple of days and then get back to the question, right? Now, this is a slide of different kinds of parents. All of us have faced most of them, right? Yesterday's video showed a couple of them. Know-it-all, hurried parent. These are parents that are, what are ghost parents? Anybody, any idea? I don't think these yes, ma'am. Who's this?
Ghost parents are parents which rarely come for meetings or rarely participate in any school-related activities, etc.
Correct. Now, this is a tribe that's going to vanish very soon in the next 3-4 months because we will need a parent with the child most of the time. So, yes, the senior children may not require, but these are the ghost parents. Rest of them, I'm sure, are not on the same page parents. What are these? Anybody?
When we are taking some topic and they are talking about something else, they are talking about the previous topics.
No, this is not on the, this is among the parents. Sometimes you could have faced a situation that for one request of yours, the father answers. And then next time it's the mother answering. And they are not on the same page between the two of them. This is what is meant by this category. That the mother has a different opinion, the father has a different opinion, and this time for once the teacher is confused. Because one parent is saying one thing, the other parent is saying another thing. So suppose it's a behavioral issue. The mother says, no, never. I mean, my child would never do something like this. And the father says, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's quite possible for my child to behave like this. So this is not on the same page as the parents as a couple are not on the same page with a particular situation that you're discussing. So this is not on the same page, parents. Right? So I don't think we need to discuss this. All of this we shared yesterday. We watched the movie and it showed almost all of these parents, and all of us as teachers have faced most of them. Any questions on this slide? Anything that anyone would like me to elaborate on this? Or we can move on to the next slide. I think I have just one more to go. Can we have the next slide, please, Fatima teacher? Yes. Now, this is something I'm going to send you all. Conversation starters. So this is like, we always feel that I really don't need this. I mean, yeah, I'm an adult. I know how to start a conversation. But there could be situations when you're lost for words. And this is a lovely, again, referral. Thank you so much for attending this meeting. These are things that sometimes even I forget to say. Thank you so much for attending this meeting. What did Suraj like about last year? These are all big conversation starters. What does Ria like to do at home? What are some of the things like that you would like Suhani to accomplish this year? So these are similar to your hook statements that we discussed in the beginning. These could go in that category too. Yes. And there is this lovely let's talk, which I will share with all of you. I will ask Fatima teacher at SGA to email you all of this, and at SSWS also, and all the other institutes. If you wish, you could have these as ready reckoners to keep by your side. Now, this is the advantage of online teaching. You could have all of this on the side next to your laptop or phone to refer, and look at it and look back at the screen, and you have your starters with you, conversation starters with you, right? Next one, please. That's it. So thank you so much, teachers, for your time over these 2 days. And I have loved this interaction, though not as much as I would have liked to see you all in front of me. But nevertheless, this is what it is for the next 3 months. So please get familiar with your tool that you're using, your laptop, your phone, your tablet, your iPhone, whatever it is, just get familiar with it. Get used to seeing yourself on the screen. That takes some getting used to, I can tell you that. And yes, all the very best for your first meeting. I'm sure you'll rock it, each one of you. And I'm available for any other help you need from me. I'm a phone call away. So please do reach out if you need anything from me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sharvari ma'am, for
Yes, ma'am.
sharing these things with us, and hope